Well, mark this down under news that nobody saw coming. Devoid of all the usual hints and teases that accompany a blockbuster announcement of this magnitude, during the 20th anniversary event for the Kingdom Hearts franchise, Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced to a worldwide audience of fans who are already in an uproar over a game we didn't even know was in active development. I was anticipating maybe there'd be some more remasters,
That's what I was thinking.
maybe another cell phone game that would be really super confusing and weird, and if we're really lucky, maybe they will announce some DLC that's worth buying. And out of all those things, we actually did get a cell phone game announcement, and I'm sure it will find a way to be super weird. But in a business in which it's hard to keep any surprise under wraps, the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 4 was a big one for a lot of reasons.
First, there's the obvious. Mainline entries in the Kingdom Hearts series are few and far between. Of the 15 or so different releases, remasters, spin-offs, and side stories that have been launched since the beginning of the story in 2002, there have been only 3 games in the actual numbered chronology.
Yeah, and between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, it was 14 long years before we saw the next title in the series. So I was kind of figuring my great-grandchildren would be the first to see a new game in the franchise. It would be announced during the celebration of the first E3 event, that's held live on Mars or something. And I do still think there's hope for the E3 Expo to be held successfully again, just maybe not on Earth. There has been a lot of Kingdom Hearts. I mean, there's been a lot. But with the third game only coming out a few years ago in 2019, it just seemed too much to expect to see another one announced or even confirmed in such a short time frame.
We also have to consider the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. And don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything, okay?
Although it's been a minute. I mean,
I know.
If you're going to play it, you probably know.
Right? But without spoiling anything, suffice to say that the ending of that game successfully wrapped up the original story arc and would have served as a fitting conclusion to the series.
Sure.
But yet here we are. There's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 4, and it's not only on its way, but it's launching an entirely new story arc that will take us to a different world altogether.
And while the Kingdom Hearts series is one of the most successful and long-running game franchises of all time, it would be easy for us to have enjoyed the finale of that story arc and simply accept it as the ending, without expecting anything more. Perhaps we played it and enjoyed it as a fan, or maybe simply appreciate it from a distance as an outstanding achievement that was clearly a big deal in the gaming realm. But now that the original arc is concluded, what do we do next? A massive number of games, characters, and destinies all intertwined to bring us to this incredible conclusion of the narrative. But if we simply stop here to stare and admire it without moving forward towards what it's capable of, we may miss out on the best parts of what the series still has to offer.
I mean, now that Disney has all of Star Wars and Marvel to add to their massive library of options for the future of this franchise, the best could truly be yet to come for a series that has already far surpassed most of our wildest expectations.
Star Wars, Marvel, Kingdom Hearts, sign me up. I'm already in.
I know.
But that's been a problem that has plagued humanity since the most critical story arc in human history reached its conclusion as well. The death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Whether we believe in it, or we just appreciate it as a major moment in history, or we're just simply aware of it without fully understanding the implications. What comes next after unto us a child is born, to it is finished, to he is risen? I mean, it is a critical trilogy of events, the most important that has ever occurred.
But to simply stop here and stare and wonder at the manger, the cross, or an empty tomb without moving forward towards the purpose of all of these events is not only counterproductive, it runs completely opposite to everything Jesus said after his resurrection was complete.
Here's the reality. Everyone that Jesus ran into after his resurrection was told to go. Go and tell others. Go and spread the message. Cross, the tomb, the resurrection, all of this is simply the first story arc in our narrative, not the conclusion of the story. The new story arc begins on day 4. It begins when we stop clinging to the cross, or lingering at the tomb, or staring up at the sky. Those all sound great, they work really well as a line in a song, and nothing against any of the songs that have that in there. But the truth is that Christ never told us to do any of those things. He never said cling to my cross. He never said linger at my tomb. Here's the tough truth. As much as I love the idea of remaining safe in the shadow of that empty tomb or at the foot of his cross, he didn't ask us to stay at any of those things. He never mentioned setting up a nice, safe little bed and breakfast within a stone's throw of his greatest hits.
He commanded us to go, to share what he has done with those that he brings into our path, and to actively seek out opportunities to share him with others. No qualifications are mentioned, no background check is involved, and no theology degrees are needed. Just a willingness to share with others what the Lord has done and is continuing to do.
The challenge that the Kingdom Hearts franchise is facing, the same one we face. Sure, we could try to stay nice and safe in what has already been done, but there's more to the story than just that first arc. The original Kingdom Hearts trilogy was an industry-changing event. It created synergy across different brands and franchises that was simply unfathomable when it was originally released. It broke new ground, brought an entire generation of Square Enix fans and Disney aficionados and gamers from every genre together in a way that could not have been predicted and has never been replicated. But stopping there would be an injustice to the courage that was shown by those who took the risks, faced those challenges, and laid the original foundation.
Kingdom Hearts was never meant to be a Final Fantasy. It was designed to be carried forward and built on. And similarly, while Christ's death, resurrection, and ascension from the foundation of our Christian beliefs, they are just the starting point in our journey. The next part of our story arc is to go and share.
Whatever happened in the first part of our narrative has been addressed by our belief and affirmation of the death, resurrection, and ascension of Christ. The sins we've confessed, washed away. The old life we once lived, dead and buried. A new life with the Spirit of God transforming our mind, thoughts, and hearts, active and alive in us. But Christ did not deliver us from our old life simply for the purposes of our salvation. This gift came with a commission.
It is time to move on to the second arc in our story, the place where our purpose meets his power. He told us to go and bear fruit, not simply sit underneath a fruit tree and enjoy the shade.
The kingdom of heaven is looking for willing hearts who are here for more than just the consumption of what has already been done. It is time for us to add our hearts to the story, to seek and to save those who are still waiting to be set free, one heart for his kingdom at a time.